How am I prepared mentally? So mentally, it's a competitive fight and I've got to bring competition. So in that sense, mentally, it's not just about, all right, I want to box well and all this, just win. Mentally, like win, refuse to be beat. And that's how you mentally approach the fight, just go in there with a winner's mindset.
So Jake, you can fight basically anybody. You decide who your opponents are going to be. Why was this man the right opponent for right now?
I think this talk has been part of the conversation, and we've always wanted to fight each other. There's been some talk back and forth for a couple of years, and my goal is to become world champion and the WBA and WBC.
I don't think it's necessarily fair to AJ. I just know that I have the power and the timing. It's the shots that you don't see coming that knock people out. And I'm a tricky knockout artist that people don't give me enough credit for. I've won knockout of the year. So he has to be careful. And I do have the timing, the speed, and the tricks up my sleeve to be able to hit a shot on this guy that he doesn't see coming that can put him to sleep 1,000.
Jake Paul walked in talking like a man already planning the victory parade route and picking the music, preaching that delusional optimism gospel and promising to shock the world.
Yeah, if I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna break his face, I'm gonna break his body up, I'm gonna stomp all over him. That's my mentality, right? That's a fighter's mentality, and I know what's in my heart, I know what's in my mind, and I'm here to compete. I'm here to prove myself that I'm the better fighter, so I'm looking forward to it, and I'll do that until I finish fighting, no matter who it is.
While Anthony Joshua just sat there cool as premium ice. Like, this isn't a superhero movie. This is a scheduled appointment. And Jake's the one who booked it.
Who has more pressure on them going into this fight?
100% Anthony. Yeah, 1,000%. This is something that's gonna weigh on him, right? Like, because of what you said, I'm going in there, I can fight free. If he starts getting touched up and losing rounds, I think the cookie will crumble.
Jake portrayed himself as a bold challenger, someone who views a reigning heavyweight as a business chance rather than a matter of survival, while AJ answered with a calm, courteous threat that suggested he would handle everything all swiftly and decisively.
Whatever he said, we'll see if the cookie crumbles. I don't know what to say. I'm confident in myself. Like, I'm not focusing on him. I just know what I can do, and I can't wait to show it. I'm not gonna crumble. I'm solid. I've been through wars, and I'm still standing super strong. I align myself with some of the greatest coaches and greatest fighters in the world because I have that hunger, that desire.
Jake so imagined speed, angles, and smooth footwork as if preparing to audition for Dancing with the Giants, while Joshua quietly described pressure, patience, and creating discomfort. The sort of language that forces you to reconsider your own decisions carefully today.
I don't think there's any chance in the world, knowing what Anthony Joshua is a specialist at, he's a specialist at putting knuckles through your fucking brain, and that's what he's going to try to do to Jake Paul. And anything other than that, from a 34-year-old Anthony Joshua, will make us all think it's a fixed fight. Whether or not Joshua can do it, whether or not, Jake Paul shocks the world and shows us that he really does know how to box really well and moves really good and uses his jab and blows us all away with a strategy and a lot of footwork and
Jake claimed that only destiny itself could stop him, while AJ essentially responded, "Nice story." Let's see if that actually works. It felt like pure hype going up against preparation. Podcast bravado facing final exam concentration. And the difference between them was impossible not to notice.
Any secret to boxing a guy like
just
like
get
Joshua?
him with the right hand. That's what Jake Paul's looking for, the right hand. And if he lands, he could do good damage. So a lot of people underestimate Jake Paul, but in reality, he's a good fighter and he's dedicated, and that's what I like.
One fighter selling confidence with a motivational speaker grin. The other giving off the ease of someone who's already seen the script and knows exactly how the moment finishes. And right when you think the Jake versus AJ madness can't escalate further, Eddie Hearn steps in like a steady taxi driver watching two sports cars argue about who's quicker and simply says, "Calm down, lads. We've already run the numbers.
You're quoted on record saying that you and AJ must retire if Jake Paul wins on December 19th. Stand by that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I suppose so. Yeah. Look, I don't see a world where Jake Paul wins this fight. I know that boxing's boxing. And I mean, what is it? Roy Jones came out this morning and said Jake Paul can win this fight.
Teddy Atlas as well.
Teddy Atlas. Okay. All right, now I'm a bit worried. I won't retire. AJ should retire if he loses.
I'm sitting here with you thinking this guy's talking about retirement clauses like he's chatting about vacation plans. And somehow it still comes off brutally savage. Because Eddie's basically saying, if AJ loses, forget a press conference, we're doing a farewell tour. Yet he says it so politely you almost feel like clapping. And the funniest bit is that he's explaining the weight situation like a fitness coach with a motivational poster, reminding us that a leaner AJ is a sharper AJ, which in boxing language translates to fewer gym selfies and far more nightmare fuel.
Don't forget, AJ's never made weight before. So all of a sudden, he's tried. You know, he's been in camp for, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, and he's probably sitting at, I don't know, 260, 265. And it's like, you got to make 245. It's 20 pounds. The weight clause and all of this is going to be an issue. It's something we have to keep our eye on. But I think AJ feels great. I think actually the lighter AJ is, the better he is.
Meanwhile, Jake is still striding in with superhero level confidence. And I respect it. But confidence without heavyweight experience is like ordering a steak with no sauce and calling it gourmet. And anyone watching can sense it. This is serious. Camp AJ is treating it like a world title, and Eddie delivers it so smoothly it feels like a royal proclamation. So now I'm staring at you thinking, place your bets and grab your popcorn. Because one guy is dreaming big while the other is honing his tools. And history usually favors the craftsman with the toolbox over the one with the motivational speech.
I see AJ winning this fight with ease, comprehensively, destructively, violently, and I don't see a world where Jake Paul is competitive in the fight, let alone win the fight. But luckily, AJ's not preparing in a way that he just thinks it's a joke. He's preparing for Jake Paul like he's a world title contender. Yes, it's been a little bit of a shorter camp. Yes, we've got to make weight this time around, but it doesn't.
And just when Eddie Hearn had us locked in full executive mode, discussing weights, clauses, and AJ moving like a precision engineered machine, we smoothly slide into Aid Oladipo territory. And suddenly the mood shifts from boardroom seriousness to that friend who knows every boxing stat and still brings snacks to the conversation. And I'm sitting here thinking Aid doesn't just talk boxing. He narrates it as if he's personally offended by every questionable scorecard since 2009.
In the top 10, where AJ's taking it seriously, he's answering the questions direct that Ariel's throwing him. There was no, we're here to kind of fuck around. This is going to be easy. Give me my money. Let me run back to the UK. This was AJ's like, no, we're taking this seriously. And that ain't a good thing for Jake Paul. It isn't. And AJ is that guy anyway. Like, I would never doubt that AJ would take this seriously. But for Jake Paul, I do wonder if realization is kicking in, or maybe he is just that delusional where he does.
Watches AJ versus Jake Paul, and you can almost hear the polite disbelief in his tone. Like when someone claims they're challenging a lion to a push-up contest. And the funny part is Jake selling dreams and confidence like a late-night infomercial. While AJ sits there looking like he sets alarms to stay disciplined, one guy shouting, "Believe in yourself." The other quietly checking torque on his right hand. Then Aid starts scanning the rest of the boxing world. And I'm with you, nodding, thinking, yeah, this sport really said peace and quiet and immediately canceled it.
Fascinating press conference. I think one of the biggest takeaways was, and I think we knew this on the circuit anyway, that AJ had left Ben Davison, but he confirmed it. And then he said he's training with Igor. And I wish Ariel pushed him a bit more because I have no idea who Igor is. I feel like I know quite a few people in this Alexander Usyk camp where AJ is and has been for a while now. But Igor is most certainly not Alexander Usyk's #1 trainer. So I'm guessing it's just someone in the camp. But AJ is now training with
British heavyweight clashes to world level politics. It feels like every name is trying to headline a reality show inside a fight card all at once. But the way Aid frames it, that's the magic. He keeps it sharp, grounded, and just self-aware enough to make you laugh without losing sight of the stakes. Like watching a veteran coach explain chaos with a straight face. And I love it because you and I know that behind every hot take and playful jab, there's an unspoken truth. Boxing doesn't reward noise. It rewards whoever actually shows up prepared. And honestly, that mix of drama, discipline, and slight madness is exactly why we can't look away.
Confirm and say AJ should, not will, should get rid of Jake Paul in 1 round. Should. And if he doesn't, then it's more, my questions will be more to AJ. But I'm confident AJ gets this done, and I'm confident AJ hasn't come to play around. So this isn't a case of AJ just come to kind of give the American audience a show and just, you know, make Jake Paul look silly and make Jake Paul miss. And no, I think AJ's come to do damage, collect the check, and go to Saudi and have this fight in February that Turkey's been talking about.
And just as Aid had us trapped in that this can't be real, but somehow it is, spiral, Johnny Nelson steps in and shifts the lens to full veteran mode, giving us that seasoned boxer stare like he's seen this movie before and already knows how the third act plays out. And I'm sitting here thinking the same thing Johnny's thinking. Jake talking like a man who just discovered motivational quotes and suddenly believes he can moonwalk through a heavyweight storm. Confidence is great. We love confidence, but this isn't a charity fun run. This is Anthony Joshua standing there looking late for a very serious appointment. And you can hear it in Johnny's tone, that polite but lethal warning that says, enjoy the moment, son, but make your moves wisely.
At itself, I want to see what AJ's presence in front of Jake Paul would be like, because AJ, especially when it comes to fighting, is a serious dude, and I know Jake Paul, the problem child, he can be rude, he can be in your face. Remember when he snatched Floyd Mayweather's hat, and they do all the kind of things, Mike Tyson ended up slapping him in his face and standing on his toe. I think Jake Paul got there, looked up and thought, shall I chance it?